The session is live now.
Okay. Good afternoon to all our speakers. There are 9 of us on the screen now. All are very eminent experts in the field. First, I wish to give an introduction to all our speakers and what the WFM community means. So let's start with that. What is WFM community? WFM community is an initiative by WFM Media. We are there in this media for the past 6 years. We have started with a magazine called Window and Facade magazine in 2013. And it had been a long journey, a lot of hurdles, a lot of, anticipations, but finally we succeeded and it is running very smoothly. Even during these COVID times, we're publishing the magazine. We have never missed an issue in between, edition in between. Had a very good response because of the entire architects, builders, developers, and the manufacturers. We are getting the full support from all the members. So our aim is to have a self-sustaining and growing professional network. And I think with the COVID times, it is time to rethink the various business strategies we are having. So this is to keep people informed on the innovations and technologies and the products within the market. I think this would be the biggest platform in the coming years to connect the members of the industry. So let us go to the introduction of the speakers. I will start with Mr. Avinash Singh Vijayan. I think you can all see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we can.
So Avinash is the leader. For the past 17 years, he had been working in various fields. And out of that, 1 decade in the UPVC fenestration, which is a very long time, right? He's done working with various fields like IT and home appliances and the mainly in supply chain and sourcing management. Am I right, Avinash?
Yeah.
Now he is totally into UPVC industry, which is his passion. And the next is Mr. Mario. You all know him.
Namaste.
As an inspiration, and he has immense knowledge in mechanical science, and he is the managing director of Lingale Windows and Doors. He is an expert in fenestration technology. As an industry leader, he is also the president of UPVC Windows and Doors as Manufacturers Association, UDMA, who is doing a great job for the industry. Next is Mr. Farid Khan. Mr. Farid Khan, you don't need any introduction. He is the director and CEO of Profine India Windows Technology. He is in the industry for the past 24 years and a huge, vast experience. And he has worked in India as well as in the Middle East. He is the guiding force for the window and door industry. Next is Mr. Kushal Bajaj. As he said, he is young. I don't believe it. He is also a very experienced person. Under his guidance and leadership, the company has grown immensely. He is exploring various Indian and international markets. He looks after the corporate and strategic affairs of the company Geeta Aluminium, which is grown over the years. The next speaker is Mr. Tulsi Ram Modi.
Namaskar.
Director and founder of Alfin Windows. He's the founder and manages the overall activities of his company. He single-handedly established in the company and has gone through a series of metamorphoses over the years, and the company has grown from better to best. Now, the sixth speaker is Mr. Anuj Diwanji. He is into the wooden window and door industry. He is the founder of Ritika Wood. He's also the managing director of the company. The company is in India for the past 11 years, manufacturing wooden doors and windows. And they have the state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. The next speaker is an architect, Mr. Sunil Upase, Sunil Niket. That's Mr. Anuj Divanji. Mr. Sunil Upase is the founder architect of Hamasmi Architects. He has over 10 years of experience. He believes in people-centric architecture, and he has also done a number of projects using the various softwares, tools, and he loves to experiment and explore various designs and materials. Next speaker is architect Deepen Gada. He is from Baroda. He is the founder and principal architect of Deepen Gada Associates. The design firm is over 27 years of existence, and he's done a large number of projects which has evolved from minimalistic and timeless design to various very well-known projects. The next speaker or the moderator is Mr. Hiren Patel, again a very well-known personality. He has again got over 27 years of experience. He is a crusader of minimalism and sustainability, and also a great painter. You must see his paintings. It's amazing. Of course, his architecture is also very, very nice designs. So these are the speakers and the moderator. And thank you very much for joining the session, and we all welcome you. Now I would invite all the speakers to put their projects. I have few slides with me, which I would be sharing, and each speaker can speak for 2 minutes on their projects, precisely 2 minutes. Much time. So let me start with Mr. Architect Deepen Gada. This is his project. Architect Deepen Gada, would you like to say anything about these projects which I'm showing over here? You can start off.
Yeah.
Mr. Deepen Gada.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and nice meeting you all here. Basically what I've shared is based on our subject, where the adoption of the fenestration or adoption of the material is absolutely a context based, and that is what we have displayed, that in the similar one project only we have used wooden window, at the same time aluminum window, which is wooden powder coated and resembling to wood, but giving a larger opening with equal safety and security, and the flexibility of air to pass through. At the same time, mosquitoes and all the areas has been well taken care of. Another project which we have displayed here is one marble showroom, where it is absolutely kind of industrial look what we have tried to resemble. And here what we find is that aluminum has done a great job based on the variation of openings, fixed glasses, sliding folding, and larger openings in the sliding fenestration. The third project which we have displayed here is a little bit of old project, where again a combination of wooden windows, wooden openings, and aluminum windows as per need. In one project only, there is a variety of openings based on again the need of the site and the context, but ultimately it is giving a wider and larger openings, which is actually seamlessly blending outdoor to indoor, and that is what is been seen here. The fourth project which we have displayed again is an example of adoption of technology in terms of aluminum openings with the larger openings, fixed double glazed glass which is facing to east direction. At the same time, where it is needed, the adoption of wooden sliders also being taken care of. What I appreciate with all the vendors here is that because of you all people bringing lot of technology, lot of awareness, and lot of newer things in market, we as a designer have a lot of freedom to explore our designs, and we are open to use all the materials based on the need of the site, budget, context, and the understanding of the client and architect at the same time. So what I've said recently is based on what I would like to say about the openings, whatever understanding is.
So shall I invite the next speaker from Amasmi Architect, Mr. Architect Upasi, Sunil Upasi, to speak on the projects which is
Yes.
shown here?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I can hear you. Sure. So this is one of the initiative that we have in our firm that is designed for economical architectural function.
Sorry, you can see the project, right? Shared on the screen, right?
We are able.
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay. Please carry on.
Yeah. So this is one of the initiative of Amasmi Architect. It is designed for economical architectural functions. So with Amasmi Architect, we do take care of lower income group to higher income group over with us. So when one of the project that you see over there in the right corner, we have used an RCC, a circular RCC thing that we have tried to make a certain opening into the void, and we have used that thing as a fenestration element. And whereas in all these two projects, we have used aluminum window. So back in Solapur, we have used this aluminum window pertaining to the directions from where the wind flow is going to be coming inside the space, and the interior environment quality of that space is going to remain the same. And there will be a kind of a visual contact between the people living inside and to the outside world. So over here, we thought about using aluminum window because this is the project way back in 2011. At that time in my city, there was no UPVC window as such. There was no material available. So we went with using aluminum window, and this is how, as per the climatical conditions, we have placed the voids inside that, on the solid surface moreover. So this is one of the project. It is Sankeshwar Ananda and Nakoda Residency, which are upcoming project over here. So right now we are using UPVC windows. So the specification which we have given it to the client is pertaining to the UPVC windows. And over here too, understanding about the climatological concepts, and also with the solar study, the length and the width of that window are thoughtfully placed while designing, and it makes an attractive elevation. And thank you for UPVC manufacturing industry that we are able to also showcase the same finish. If, for example, now they are coming up with some very different versatile finishes. It is with wooden finishes also. We have some of the aluminum windows available. Sorry, the UPVC windows available, and we are planning to use it for the upcoming project.
Okay, now the next is Mr. Mario from Lingel. This is the first project which is there with me.
Yeah, hello everyone. It's a project which we had executed in New Delhi, and only to show that large spans are possible, of course, in the wonderful material of UPVC as well, because we don't consider the strength of the PVC material. We just consider the strength of the reinforcement, of the GI reinforcement, and those sections are made accordingly that we are in line and complying with the wind load. The project, what we can see over here, these are lift and slide doors. They're almost, or they're at least 4 meters in height and 6 feet in width. And with the lift and slide, nice hardware solutions, what we have, around 300 or 350, or with tandem 400 kg, we are able to execute such nice projects in UPVC. Next slide, please. This is also here, you can see a structure glazing or a curtain wall, but you can't see my windows. My windows are actually hidden behind the curtain. What was the issue over there in this Lila hotel? There was actually a noise issue, so that the NH8, whoever knows this hotel, there's just in front of the highway, and there was a huge issue with noise pollution, and the insulated glazing which was there was not given sufficient noise reduction. And what we have done, we have implemented UPVC glazing behind the curtain wall. there we had to take care that now during the time when the lot of moisture is there during the monsoon, or now when we have a lot of temperature difference between outside and inside, even in winter, so that the glasses are not getting blind, that nothing is coming there on the facade from the inside, because cleaning was an issue, which of course is not possible at all. On their room-wise, because the room was made out of a wonderful wooden cladding out veneer, and we have matched the same surface with the UPVC, so that for a layman who, or for a guest who is coming in, will just see the traffic, but not be able to listen to traffic. And at the same time, the UPVC windows are having the same color like the veneer with the nice finishing of the room. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a wonderful landmark project in Gujarat. There, it had been 20 or 25 years ago, it would have gone really for wood. Here we have an individual inbuilt solution where we have, for all the openable windows, we have inbuilt grills for the security, all possible in UPVC. Same like here also the wooden finishes. On what we may speak later on about, also the supplier of those texture films are giving a lot of warranties. They are actually really tested. Those foils films are getting tested in Arizona as well as in Miami, so that we can really give 10, 15, or even 20 years on warranty, so that it will really look like wood, it will feel like wood, but with the taste of UPVC, it just came in a wonderful outcome of this project. Thank you so much. These are the 3 slides from my side.
So next is from Komaling.
Yes, very good afternoon to all of you. The first project, what you're seeing is a university in Tirumalai, and over here I'm displaying all the different places where we have installed our Komaling UPVC windows. The simple reason is one of them is a university. The Circuit House in Pune is one of the prestigious MLA guest house. And Renu, if you can move to the next slide.
Yeah.
The third one is a school. It's a DPS school in Greater Noida, which is in the National Capital Territory. And the fourth one is ITC Grand Bharat. It's in Gurgaon. It's one of the landmark hotels in India. And primarily all the 4 projects are based on performance of UPVC as a window and a door. So in some projects, you're finding wherein the clients went for sound insulation. In some projects, the client went for thermal insulation. And at some places like the ITC Bharat Green, this particular system was with a special 5-chamber profile, wherein the glass which was installed is 38 millimeter series, and it was done with a special 70 millimeter series, which normally doesn't happen in India. So everywhere, some special cases have been looked into, and it has been offered to the client. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is from Encraft. Shall I move on to the project? This is the first project.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and namaste. This is the project which has been shown here. This is the Central Park, Gurgaon. Basically, it's a high-rise building, and this we did around 2016 and 17. This is at the 15th floor. We have installed the tilt and slide door because this is the penthouse work. Even all the 5-tower work was done by us, where the client was looking for some the sound insulation. And after installing this, in the Gurgaon, how basically the problem is there for the sound matter. And after this, the problem of the sound has totally passed away from there. And this is the one of the very iconic side. I think Mario is smiling here because this project was done by Mario only, along with the Encraft profile. Thanks, Mario, for a nice work, man. Say, move to the next slide, please. Sorry, come again. In the first slide itself, this is the farmhouse work in the Nasik. This we did in the 2018. Here again, we have used the combination of the windows like the lift and slide, then our fold and slide, parallel window, and this is the very prominent project. Again, it's done in the white color, and this is the very one of the prominent property. Here again, the matter and the selection was that here the client was looking for around the 36 mm glazing and the clear view of the opening. If you see at the ground floor, that's why we have offered the lift and slide. And in the staircase, the parallel window requirement was there. The next slide, please. The third slide, it is a retail project which is done in the Ahmedabad. Here again, the client requirement was there that they were looking for the clear view of their garden from their dining hall. As a result, here again, the left and slide door has been installed. with again they were looking for the double glazed glass. And the fourth project, again, this is the retail farmhouse work, which we did in last year at Ahmedabad only. Here, the client were looking for some of the wooden color option, which we have did with the walnut color, with again the combination of window along with the normal sliding and casement. Here, even we have installed last year the invisifold door as well, which is our latest innovation. And that's all about all the project from our side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Geeta Aluminium. Sir, you can talk about the project.
Can you please unmute your mic? We can't hear you anymore.
Yeah.
Did we skip a slide or we on the first slide?
Yes, this is the first slide.
Okay. So basically straight, the focus is on the window itself. Basically, this is one of the windows, what we had created for a bungalow project in Juhu. It was a very unique project because Juhu, most of the bungalows right now in Juhu and Mumbai are either G+1, G+2, where redevelopment is taking on a very fast scale. This is one bungalow project which maintained its the height and the story level in terms of it retained G+4, and the customer wanted, it had a very Japanese kind of look where they had outlay for every single or every alternate floor, but they wanted to maintain a French partition on every window. And this French partition, they didn't want the French putties to kind of be stuck onto the window, so it had to be integrated within the windows itself. So this is just one of the typologies what we had specifically created for this site. I think so. Next, yeah. This is another project, slim windows with reinforcement. These days, you know, as Hirenji and Dipenji rightly said, you know, minimalism, less is more. Idea is to use the right material, but you know, keep visually things very more enhancing, and that's how you can achieve by keeping the interlocking very slim. So this is what we've done with most of our systems, where the interlocking sections are maintained either between 25 to 35 mm, depending on what kind of window we are going for. So yeah.
Next is Alpine Windows. Yes, sir, you can talk about this system and the project.
Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank WFM for bringing this important topic to the virtual platform. My sincere and warm regards to the host, moderator, all the panelists and the viewers. Now this particular project, this is a bungalow of an industrialist situated in Jaipur, and it was the architect and interior by architect Sanjay Kothari of Collido from Jaipur. Here we use the aluminum window system with a laminated DGU glass. Considering the weight of the glass and all other, you know, like very heavy shutters which are sliding and the opening, we use the aluminum windows in wood finish. The sliding shutters weight can go up to 200 kgs for this particular project, and these all our windows are performing very well. This project completed recently, it is like almost 1 year old only. The next. This is another project of a well-known industrialist. It is also situated in Jaipur. This is a very large opening. This is almost approximately 18 feet wide and 9 feet high. We used here the safety glass. This, thanks to the aluminum, so we can achieve this such a larger opening with such a huge wind load and the Rajasthan tropical climatic conditions. It served very well. Next, please. This is another project where we used casement windows majorly. This is a typical casement window inspired by the typical wood design. We were using since years. The outside the glass shutter and inside the openable mesh shutter. We can see like here the horizontal tangents on the mesh shutter are visible. The size of the windows are typically 9 feet in height and almost 10-12 feet in width. Here we use the laminated DGU glass, and the architect again is the architect Sanjay Kothari from Jaipur. Thank you.
So, sir, from Ritika Wood, could you please explain the project?
Thank you very much for affording this project.
Sir, your voice is
Comes with a 50-year warranty.
yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Application of wood, and here we try to show. Here we try to show the various applications of wood. Wood is a universal material. So this is a project we've done in Indore, where we've shown the external cladding of very Nish Kumar, where the gate and the facade is clad with our wood. Next slide, please. Yeah. Our specialization is not just limited to windows and cladding. We also do a lot of screens. The top image which you see is actually behind which a set of fixed by the entry of and heat came, and thereby improving the air conditioning efficiency. Project below is again very large, tall, lift and slide wooden windows, which is fixed right on the seashore in Alibag. This undergoes very heavy rainfall and very heavy wind pressure, but we have no problems water leak or even wind noise, and is a testimony to the quality that product. Next.
That's all. So thank you so much, all. Now I'll stop sharing and the moderator can take over from here. The viewers, please comment, or you can post your questions on the window on the right side, right hand side chat window. In the end of the session, we will be handing over the question to one of the speakers, Mr. Mario, and he will pass the questions over, and we will get the answers from concerned industry member or architect, whoever the question is addressed to. Thank you so much. Sir, Architect Patel, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Renu. Thank you, everyone, for their lovely presentation, and good afternoon to everyone who are listening to this presentation. We have a wonderful group of people with their know-how and their love for their products, and also we have the architect friends in this group. So technically speaking, we have like three kind of window solutions. People are there, like one using wood, they believe in wood. Second one, they believe in UPVC, and third one is believing in aluminum. Now, all three materials are equally good, and there is nothing like a competition between the product. For example, as an architect, sometime I want to, or the Deepen or the Nikas want to make an architecture where he wants to use a stone, and in next project he wants to use the mud brick, and in third he wants to have a lime plaster. So that's how the old product has its own qualities, and that's what we are here to understand about the everybody's benefit. But as a totality, we think, what are we heading to, and what are we looking? I mean, when we create architecture, basically there is two kind of architecture, which is prime architecture part, where most of all we human being use a maximum number of times. So that's our own residence, either it's apartment, it's a villa, or it's a house or something like that. And second one is your workstation, I mean your workplace. So these are two architecture building, and the other building which are like supportive architecture, which I would say, let's say you go to drama, you go to the museum, you go to the public building, school, college, like that. But majority of your time would be definitely spent at your home and your workplace. So I just, to start with the discussion, I wanted to share, Renu, I also want to share like 2-3 slides quickly, that yes, how an architect would think. So if you, I can just quickly run through that.
Yes, sure, sir. Please share the screen here.
Yeah. Okay. So are you able to see the image?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So let's say this is the one project where we thought it was an office, and we thought we want to create why are we have to sit inside the cube and we work? Why can't we work into the garden? But working into garden is next to it's almost impossible in the climate like Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat. No, it's like India, most of the it's very hot, and Surat is hot and humid, and you cannot actually work in outdoor garden. So, but as an idea, we had a kind of thing that we want to create an office where virtually walking into garden. And the fenestration becomes the main part into this thing. So what happened that we did not wanted any kind of barrier between inside and outside, because we really virtually we wanted that when you are working, you require that, let's say, air conditioning or fan or dust-free environment. But at the same time, you don't want to lose any of your view outside, and which, technically you feel that, oh, I'm almost sitting in the outside and I'm working. So in this office, we wanted this kind of space where we technically have fenestration, which is completely frameless kind of look of a glass, where you don't see any kind of division in between, because we wanted to have a relation between inside and outside. So that's how the thinking happened. That's how you can see the vertical columns are separate than the windows, and the window is completely like we had to control because of the heat and dust and sound. We have this glass panels, but technically it's completely you don't see any barrier in between. And that's how the end results came. So if you look the architecture from outside, there are the glass cubicles, and you are working from in, and it's a fun looking from inside to outside and outside to inside. So these are like 3 slides I just wanted to share quickly. And what as a designers, our friends are there, and as a designers, how the architects think about the fenestration, that's very important. So basically, the fenestration is very important part for some architect or some of their project, where the fenestration or opening become completely it's a part of your design, and they really want to highlight in a design manner that they have circle or square or rectangle or whatever kind of fenestration. That is number one. Number two, as we said the previous project, where you have inside and outside relationship. You want to create the inside and outside relationship. So we say it is from looking inside to outside. That's why you cut into your space and you have the view outside. And at the same time, let's say if you're doing an office or you're doing a showroom, you want people from outside to see inside. So fenestration works both ways. Sometimes it works from people to look from inside to out, but also many times it happens that from outside to inside it works. It's the museum, you want that, or it's a public space. You want it's a nice cafe on the 5th floor. You want full glass because the people from outside can see and they see the activity happening, and that's how they get attracted to those kind of spaces. Especially we see nowadays in an urban city, we see the gymnasium, no? They are on the top floor of the high-rise building, but they're full glass. So it's so motivating while driving. You see the people somewhere in the building doing running on the treadmill, and it's absolutely like encouraging, and it's so soothing to see such kind of things. So fenestration for a designers are very, very, very important, and it brings the relation between inside to outside. So this is what all about we as a designers. Deepen, if you have any thoughts on that about what do you mean by a fenestration as a not like a aluminum, wood, or this thing, please let us know.
Yeah, Hiran, as you rightly said, it is the relation establishment between the inside and outside, and that is the most important. In fact, every space has a different need to establish the relation, because there is always a functionality inside and outside, and most of the time that is why we are looking forward that how best we can do, keeping in mind the Indian climatology, as rightly said, because the moment a lot of glass and lot of fenestration and lot of openings we keep, we have to be very careful about the temperature gain inside, and that is what one of the very, very important aspect what we all keep in mind, and we select the right direction and the right view to keep the openings. Again, second very important thing is that earlier days there were, and earlier days and even in Vastu there is always very, very importance of cross ventilation. Nowadays the things are very different because we all are dependent on the mechanical ventilation, and we are now not looking forward for a very good and comfortable cross ventilation. But At the same time, as whenever we design, we try that how we can create a nice ventilation so that at least whenever you start your air conditioning or your all mechanical ventilation, before that the nice air exchange should happen. And that is one of the very important criteria where we look forward that at least a smaller opening in the wind direction and the larger opening in the other direction like northeast, so that the easy air exchange should happen with the venturi effect. And that is what is very, very important. That is what we look forward. Based on the noise, based on the the requirement of the client, based on the vibration or the, as I've told you, the aesthetic need of the project, we normally select the finish. And that is what is the secondary part. So primary part is that how we create openings in our design, and that what it would impact in overall day-to-day life, or you can say in the temperature or the joy or the connection between outdoor and indoor. And secondary, it would come with the selection of the material, and that is what is again very, very important, because as Hiren or everyone said, all three materials are equally good based on the need of the time, based on the availability, based on the technology, and the budget, of course, which is very, very primary, because nowadays, looking to the openings, nowadays the architectural construction cost is lesser than sometimes the fenestration cost. And that's what is very significant. So according to need, we normally select the material. And I think we are open for everything. And as I've told you earlier, that thanks to newer technology, which enable us to explore a lot of possibilities in architecture.
Right. Okay, great. I understand your concern about the temperature, cross ventilation, and also a cost criteria. Definitely will go with our friends about who are manufacturing this. But before that, I just would like to talk to the Nikesh. He's the youngest guy in the group, and that's how we can imagine he must be the most dynamic guy. We all are mature enough, and but he has lots of enthusiasm on doing kind of work, and he's in the city, which is one of the Silicon Valley of India. So I'm sure he's looking at lots of possibility of doing creativity into the fenestration. And Nikesh, yes, as you had, we had a little chat before this thing, and you had come with wonderful things that, okay, we know about this, our friends who are manufacturing different kind of windows. But as a designer, so you are looking something more from that, something like innovation or creativity. Please put more light on that.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Hiren, for giving me this opportunity. The thing is that when it comes to fenestration, firstly, when we deal with any of the projects, it is always about understanding the client to the fullest. So now understanding the client does not only means by understanding them only on the monetary requirements, or say on their habitual requirements, or what the spatial requirements that they need. It is also understanding the client, the lifestyle that he has lived into. It is also understanding the client about what taste that it attracts him the more. Because right now in the new technological world, like when there is information at your fingertips, it is at one stroke, he will be letting you know that, okay, if I'm going to design one particular building with you, I want the facade to look in a certain way. Now, this is what I want to look it as. Now, when it comes to that, it is that also comes to an architect. There's a responsibility to educate them with whatever the versatility of the projects is available in the market, where we are dealing with the facade cladding elements as well as the fenestrations. So what we always try to do is, we always firstly try to plan as per the Vastu principles. We understand entirely from where the light is going to come, and how the cross ventilation can be benefited to the client. And with that, there is one more thing. We also try to bring in more green spaces inside. So when that green spaces are coming inside, there is of course a certain kind of a bigger fenestration which is needed, or a kind of an opening which is needed. And that opening, when we see it from the exterior grounds, it should be looking like a crisp, clear kind of a thing. Like say, for example, it is like 20 feet height and somewhere 50 feet of width. And there I just have a rectangular or a squarish void. at the offset of a certain building. And then I don't want to look at some of the mullions, or I don't want the horizontal and vertical mullions. I want just a kind of a squarish window frame. Now that is where I find most of intellectualizing with the facade designs, with the fenestration selections, and how it is going to benefit the entire facade of it, how it is going to enrich the look of the facade. So with that, when it comes to now in the newer age, every person is driven towards parametric architecture a lot. They want very different kind of an aesthetical look of the building. So over there, I always thought that fenestrations, if some of the materials can cope up with the dynamic designs, or say the carcass of that material can cope up with the dynamic designs, the exterior facade, what we designed moreover. Like say, for example, Zaha Hadid. We have seen so many different kind of not possible said structures, but it is still standing somewhere on the ground. So that is where I see that the fenestration industry need to have a new look towards, because no matter if we think about planning it in a master principled way, or say doing it in doing it with the thought of sustainable architecture, with projections and having shadows, and treating the walls with more and more acoustical materials. But the most important thing is, when we think about all these things, there should be also fenestration element which should also cope with the certain things, with the specifications or with the thought process of that entire building design. And at the same time, fenestration as of now, it has not it does not just defines a kind of an opening to the interior space. It has a lot more to do with it, because in new days it is now that there is also solar energy that we can catch through the fenestration. Like there are some of the glazings, and new technologies are coming up where there is a research going on in quantum dots as semiconductor particle, which is there is a quantum dot which is blended with a polymer film, and it is attached on the glass film. And with that, the frames, it is having very different finishes. Like the finishes are entirely new choices to make. Whatever the finishes we want, it is just available with your fingertips. But the most important thing is that finish should also cope up with the building design, firstly. Secondly, it should also have some health benefits out of it. It should also save the electricity. It should also have moreover natural lighting imparting into your interior space. It should have a kind of a different interior quality of that indoor space. It should maintain, it should highlight it, it should enhance it. This is what I see as a fenestration element as of now. I do remember there was one of the article which I have written about copper facades. So in copper facades, we also do have some of the fenestration which has copper finishes on the window frames. There are some of the door panels which are designed into copper. Like the core material might be wooden or FRP, but the cladding of it happens to be copper. So some kind of those things I see moreover kind of an innovative approach towards dealing with the fenestration, which is needed by like younger generation of architects today.
Okay, good. I mean, from younger generation of architect, we understand about having the space or need of larger opening to get the green inside the building, having lots of light coming inside. And also you thought of lots of new technology and solar energy. Yes, so definitely I'm going to ask Mr. Mario, but before that I will go to Mr. Anush. But Mr. Mario, I just make you a little prepare for that so you can answer. As a designers, we look for, no, like let's say it came from Nikesh about the solar energy, new technology. So what kind of innovations are happening on your field? Not necessarily UPVC, but you can just talk in general. So we all as the designers or the other people understand that, I mean, what is coming in terms of IT or in terms of mobile. They say that next model would be something like that. iPhone 13 would be something like that. So you just keep thing in mind. Before I come to you, I would like to go to Mr. Anuj. and Mr. Anuj is from Ritika Wood. And I'm sure, sir, you have been, I mean, you have seen the life. I mean, you've seen the kind of plastic-free India or plastic-free country where there were so much of less pollution and demand of people were less, and now India is getting flourished and economy we are becoming very strong and powerful. So we have got lots of affordability to do any kind of thing. So that's how we are all enthusiastic to create new and more things. But at the same time, that one has to be, little get concerned about the totality in terms of planet. I mean, we have already seen this pandemic, and we have everybody has gone to self understanding mode, being alone at home, and we try to realize that we were just in the madness, and we have to stop somewhere. We have to calm down. We have to cool down, and have a little balance between things. So we would really like to know from your side about the sustainability approach and the climate-based approach for the industry like you in Fenestrations. So can you tell something about that, mainly at the global level about sustainable approach to the your product or your other products?
Thank you, Hiren bhai. Hello to everyone. We're all here. My own journey through aluminum and UPVC, and I spent 10 years in each of them. So I fully understand the materials and where, as all of you designers, each material has its strength. We are all seeing and facing. Certainly, it has awakened us to the environmental degradation that we see around us. Made us more sensitive to the lower. So what is very important is different kinds of when we look at the environmental footprint, we need to understand what is the sustainability of the material that is suggested or specified. Second, what is the carbon footprint of that material? That means how much is, and to get it from point A to point B or to the consumption. A lot of studies have been done around the world. Under the
I think there is disturbance with the network. We are not able to hear in between.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. I think if you can sit a bit closer to the mic, it will be audible.
Yeah, so there are international treaties in terms of Paris Accord and Kyoto Protocol, which require countries to bring down their carbon emissions. Even at, let's say, at the automobile industry level, at the corporate level, they're supposed to bring down their carbon emissions from the cars. So everybody is looking at materials like wood, for example. Wood, as we all know, does not require any energy to grow. And wood is the only material that humans can grow. We cannot kind of replenish other materials that we take from nature, but wood is something that we can, it's like farming. So as long as the sustainable movement and the forests which are sustainably managed, plantation forests, as long as these are encouraged, we see infinite and how should I say, a completely re-fulfilled source of supply as far as wood is concerned. In terms of technologies, I have attended several seminars where international architects are now designing skyscrapers in wood, which using what is known as CLT, that is cross-laminated timber. There are currently examples worldwide of, I think the tallest building is about 23 stories high, entirely made out of wood above plinth. So there is no concrete, no cement. This has a lot of benefits, chiefly that the carbon footprint is very low, energy efficiency is very high, and the construction speed is very fast. And this is also now of paramount importance in rapidly urbanizing India, where we find that constructing in a dense urban environment becomes more and more difficult. Plus the amount of debris and that we generate at construction sites. that also is challenging in terms of its eventual disposal. So yeah, I think wood industry worldwide is aware of the opportunities. People have also understood that wood is a biophilic material. It's a material where when humans interact with any natural material like wood or stone, we get a sense of upliftment and fulfillment. So these are some hidden benefits of wooden materials, and we are aware of this at our level, at Ritika Wood level. Also, we're trying to bring in more and more similar products, which will excite the design fraternity. So yeah, that's about it as far as the wood industry is concerned.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, yes, we understand your concern about the sustainable approach and reducing carbon footprint, and that's how you believe the wood is the one which is the best material, subject to we take it from forest and we replant like a farming, you say. So yes, all developed country, they have very strict bylaws and they maintain it so well, versus the growing countries have less awareness and less strictness towards that. I'm sure in India also will become more to see that we don't cut the forest, but we reproduce the wood we require. Yes, Mr. Mario, just we want from you about the innovation happening in your field.
A wonderful speech by one of the best consultants. Innovation needs opportunities. My dear architects, please give us the opportunities. As long as we calculate square feet into money should be very low, we are going to fail. Internet of the things, it is going to come. All the large system providers from the profile end as well as from the hardware end are working on it. We ourselves as Lingle, we are also working on it to give solutions where we are getting connected. The most easiest thing, what we are doing already since many years, the moment you step out, your AC should be off. Especially in all the hotels, you step to your balcony, AC is off by default. We have to learn it. Sometimes we have to learn it forcefully. Unfortunately, electricity is still too cheap in India. That's why we are just wasting the resources. But in terms of IoT, let's go one step ahead. We have third parties which want to jump to attach it somehow to our products, but to track our windows, to trace our windows. And I don't talk about only the main door where I have my camera. So that I see all my windows. I get an information, the rain is going to come, your window is open. All these things, I think only we as the industry, we can give, because our windows, it's a sliding window, it's a fixed window, there is this class, that class, there are 1,000 options, and we have to take it forward. We need your push from the architect side, from the designers, push us to come with the solution. All the solutions are ready. But when we introduce it, then it's something, okay, it's just a sales pitch. Please give it to your consumer, give it to your customer. Everything is ready. We can trace our windows from where in the world. We can give the right security solution if someone is trying to break in. We have the solutions for humidity. You need to put on your ventilation, or there are ventilation preppers where we are giving an electrical connection to an exhaust fan. The exhaust fan is going to run for a couple of hours, and especially in holiday homes, which are not frequently used, that the fresh air is just coming in, and when you go there after a couple of months, the place is not getting smelly. So all these options are there. No time today to go actually really in details. Force us from your side, and we as an industry are ready to provide. We need the opportunity to come with the innovations in.
Yes, great, thank you. I think that makes lots of sense. What happens as a designers, we design, and at the end of when the project is almost done, we get introduction to the people who are manufacturing the windows. So that's not a right approach. Ideally, we should take you on board right from beginning. And that's how you know what architect is thinking as a design aspect for that project. And you almost become like a team member rather than a product supplier. And architect wants to say something, or he has some idea about cross ventilation, but dust doesn't come, or XYZ, they can tell to the trade partners, and if they are taken right from beginning, definitely results would be very good. And I think that working method is fun, because if people at today's time, obviously everybody looks for a kind of work and business, but if you have kind of feeling of an association, it's a wonderful feeling that you feel I'm a part of that, and that's very much important. So yes, we will definitely keep that in mind, that if you are working on the project, it is a good idea to introduce right on from you in the beginning, and you people also start thinking on that.
Sure.
Yes, there were 2 hands raised from Kushal Bajaj, so please tell, then I will ask Nikesh also.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to, add on to Mario's point, which is absolutely right. And Hirenji, like you rightly said, like it would be really nice, which most of the designers these days are adapting to, is to introduce the fenestration quotient or the fenestration people right from a designing stage. If the, you can say kind of the specification has been taken into consideration. Because, for example, right now we are doing a site where the client and the designer wanted to go ahead with us. They introduced us towards the end. There wasn't enough sill detailing or marble space left to play around with the window. I mean, we had to compromise on the tracks we were using, the shutter sizes we had to do, and it changed the complete dynamics on, like Niket rightly said, because in today's day and age, if you're redoing a house, you're looking at a 15, 20-year horizon. So you have to ensure ample natural light, ample natural ventilation, ample space, security, water gutter system to ensure that, because monsoon in, for example, a city like Mumbai, which is facing those 3-4 months of heavy monsoon, you have to ensure that, how the window is placed and what direction it is placed in. So, I mean, designing is very important, and fenestration plays a big role, like Hirenji, like you rightly said, because unlike the olden days where the cities were growing horizontally, now it's growing vertically. So it's important that window is not an element which is just hidden behind grills or curtains. It's an element which adds to a lot of factors, like even Mario said, in terms of thermal power, in terms of what kind of U value we're achieving, in terms of what kind of energy efficiency we're looking at. Are we looking at reducing air conditioning cost? Are we looking at adding aesthetical value? Are we saving up with a combination window? Are we saving up cost what you're spending for FSI, or cost what you're spending for railings? I mean, there's so many different things that you play around with, and we have all those things in a bucket. It's just that if you're introduced at the right stage at the right time, I think so we could give our inputs as well.
Perfect. Yeah, Nikesh, you want to say something?
Absolutely. Like I'm happy with the perspective Mario has placed in, because I always think about one very important aspect, that whenever we design any of the building, 25 to 30% of the entire cost goes for the facade design. So what happens is that normally if we are going to have some innovative facades, it is the vice versa, that we think as of now that as per the window size, how the facade is going to look, or what kind of a proportion I'm going to take for that entire facade design. But now there is a kind of a new process which is always and which has been adopted. It is not that we just plan 3 feet or 4 feet, or say like 6 feet or 5 feet of opening. It is also to take care about the interior environment quality. There is an energy consultation which it happens, like what amount of sunlight, what amount of heat it is going to come inside the space.
Right.
And then afterwards, having a look from the exterior side, is that particular proportion suiting the dynamic design of that building or not?
Right.
So somewhere I personally think, and I really encourage this thing, that whenever we are designing any of the structure, there should be also, the fenestration team should be also working with us at the same time.
Absolutely.
That, okay, what is your requirement and how the facade is going to come, and with that there will be a kind of a statement for that furniture, for that fenestrating product, that okay, this we have molded it as per the design of the entire facade, and this is how the way it is looking. So those are both intertwined with each other.
Right.
Those are not separate.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you that it has to be teamwork, and they are the experts of their line. So as a designers, we cannot become a master of everything. So we have to have a good team, and then we just throw our ideas and creativity, and they actually come up with a lot of R&D and come up with a solution which could be innovative. So it's not about your particular brilliance, but if that product comes wonderful, then it can be taken for the rest of the things. I'm just that reminds me, like we were working for some of our client who makes roads and everything, and we say making the express highway, they have to make the restaurant and everything for emergency medical service for truck people and everything. We said, why can't we design something beautiful one? So we just made some presentation they love for that role, but somehow they sold to somebody else. And they say, oh, the entire another team of people who are making from Delhi to Bombay corridor, they want to use this thing. So what happened that we work for somebody, but it was a good thing. Now they're adopting to take it in for us. So that's where, I mean, we improve as a totality in the industry. So definitely it's a good idea to work with the window people. And it's Kusal Bajaj says very rightly that fenestration is not, it is much more than a window with a curtain. So that's a wonderful statement from you. So nice. I mean, one can put like a logo, and that's really, it's much more than the window with curtain and security grills. It has much more meaning to that. I would now come to the Avinash, then Farid Bhai, and then finally to Tulsi. So Avinash, one is like doing the creativity and kind of special kind of windows. Yes, the designers will look. But in India, there's another kind of huge challenge is the mass housing. Just everywhere, if you now go, you see cranes and cranes and cranes. Something like we used to see in China. Now we started seeing in Delhi, and now we are started seeing across India. So kind of amount of the housing is happening. If you calculate in terms of the volumes, it's such a large volume, and it's like absolutely like mass production. And you make one good product and tuck, you supply to that. And you cannot do a single mistake, because once you do that, it will go in lakhs and lakhs of number of houses, units, and etc. So you have been working wonderfully with lots of developers in a mass housing. Can you tell us about your experience about that as a fenestration industry? That what the designers, we people, what should be taken care? So at the end users, the real buyer of the apartment, should feel happy about it. So you have always a fight with the price, with the good quality. So if you can tell that, and the same thing we'll ask to Mr. Farid also the same question. And yeah.
Thank you, Viren sir. Basically, as rightly, most of the part has been already covered by my other speakers. But you said, we always used to say that don't consider the doors and windows as an object to fill the cavity. Because if you see around in any apartment, any high-rise building, wherever you see, like rightly said by Mario, electricity is a very cheaper. 30% of the energy loss is being done from the doors and windows, right? And like you said, a lot of the mass housing as of now, the development is going on because our Prime Minister vision is that we have to give a house for everyone, right? And here, as rightly we used to say, like we have the solution for every situation, because we cannot say that we are only going to cater the elite class of the people and not for the mass housing people, right? And because here the majority of the volume is coming from here basically the challenges, no doubt, India is a cost conscious country, right? Here the price is the main deciding factor, but at the same time we need to educate the developer, because here again the problem is coming what lightly you said, when the developer approaches us, that is the last stage for the doors and windows, and always everybody is having a cost concern. But we, as rightly Mario said and other colleagues, we have the solution for every situation. We are coming with our ideas with them, and here the means basically the challenges which we are facing, we are being as a designer, as an architect of fraternity, which we are looking a help from you. Like basically the most of the challenges is there for the plaster cavity and the civil war, where the lot of mistake has been done. Because the one thing which you asked, like the one very good quality production, tuck, the production is going on in the mass housing, there should not be any quality problem, right? The quality problem has never happened at the extrusion stage, at the fabrication. It's only happening at the installation stage. And India is a wet country. Then here it's a big challenge where always what we need to do, sometimes because the people go to take the double and triple time the measurement at the joint measurement and then coming back. Here, that's how we have a similar, like if we have some community where this type of the windows will be only used in the doors and windows for the residential or for the institutional, like schools or hospitals, then there will be similarity. And at that time, the yield will be also coming. And also, what we are considering, like so in any high-rise building or anywhere, whenever there is any fire or anything, doors and windows are the first escape route. That's why selecting the material which had to be self-fire retardant or everything, that is the first choice. And that's how we are maintaining this and coming with every solution. Like I can tell you that as of now, if suppose we are doing a house of the celebrity, but at the same time, we are doing the project of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana as well. Because we need to consider all the things here. Here only the challenge which we are facing as an industry, that is the installation work. That is again, because of the cavity sizes are not correct. And basically whenever we are installing the window at that time, what is the problem? Because After that, the paint work is going on. After that, the flooring work is going on, and all the dust is coming, and basically all the bullshit things are coming on the window, and ultimately whole the window is being blamed. Because the people has to think this is not only object to fill the cavity, right? It has the energy efficiency, it has the thermal insulation. Because you imagine a case where the people are staying in the Bangalore or in Delhi or in Mumbai in a high-rise building nearby the road shore, how much the noise is coming to their houses. And that's how always we are trying to give the the thermal insulation U value calculation and to satisfy with the client and everyone. And that's how we are trying to educate the industry.
Right.
That's what.
Okay, great. Yeah. So yeah, understood. And so same thing, Mr. Farid, I would like to know from you as well. As Avinash also mentioned about the problem. I mean, is our biggest challenge in India is mass housing and mass workplaces across the country. And workers, yes, workers are not well educated. They are not trained, and they basically simply we see they all come from the villages to have a better life into the city, because they get attracted with the loss of glamour of the city, and that's how they come. And actually, they don't like to go back. So there are cities which really attracts them. I mean, sometimes we question the life in the village is better, but still there is so much of glamour of cities there where the villagers like to come and they join as a labor task. And the real estate is one of the biggest the field which gives you opportunity for the uneducated people to work upon. So as your product is also on the mass housing, what kind of difficulties you are getting in terms of getting, because as we know, when it is made in your factory, things are in mm to mm. But when you go to site, I mean, the handling of the entire thing gets so messed up. And what kind of the precaution wants to really take care of? So we don't, at the end, we don't have, I mean, if we get a new car or new television or new fridge, we don't allow them to have a single stain. So, I mean, that much of liking is from the end users, and the same should happen. There shouldn't be a single scratch on the glass when the window has been fitted. So can you put us on some kind of thinking behind that? How can we improve our work quality in India as a par across the country?
Hiren bhai, you have posed too many questions at one time. I will take a little bit of time and then I will pass it on to Mario as far as the fabrication and the installation part is concerned.
Okay.
Again, see, as far as the windows are concerned, the good thing in the present context is that Anuj also has been one of the pioneers in terms of different materials, and especially now with wood. So today the good thing is that window is being perceived now not as a as Mr. Bajaj also mentioned, that something behind the curtain. So now this is more of a performance product where people are looking for different attributes. And in this, like you were saying that, okay, the difference right now in India is like mass housing, whereas the products, I talk about UPVC. This has been a product which has been there in the world now almost for 60, 65 years. And we have been one of the pioneers. In that particular market, Europe and all these places, it was predominantly retail-based market, wherein we transitioned into a mass housing market like in India. So a lot of transitions have happened in terms of systems also in this particular Indian subcontinent, like Avnish, like myself, like other companies also. We have come up with different solutions to give the best, I would say the best product to individual consumer, as well as to builders and developers, as well as to the architect fraternity. So as far as the solution is concerned, there are ample number of solutions. It depends upon the design. It depends. Everything has its pros and cons. There are a lot of factors in terms of thermal insulation. Like Mario rightly said, that energy is still very cheap in India. In Europe and developed countries, energy is getting expensive. People are looking for U values. In India, still many of the products are more of a fashion statement rather than utilizing it as a performance product. So a lot of changes are bound to happen. A lot of changes will happen in terms of this very important topic. What you raised was regarding the workers, and we as an industry in Woodma, we have taken an initiative wherein we are going for a lot of skill development programs, wherein we are training a lot of students who are 8 pass or 9 pass and 10 pass, so that they can have a good life, who are dreaming to make it big in the cities in terms of doing the right things at the fabrication stage or at the installation stage. So I think lot of introspection still has to go on with individual materials in terms of providing the systems. When you talk about mass housing, architects can play a very important role in deciding upon the design of the window or a door, which can make it, I would say, much more affordable. So this is like a joint collaboration or a joint venture, which can yield multiple results to the consumers in this market.
I would like to add one point to Farid.
Okay.
We need at site discipline and not blaming. Like, what is the difference in Europe? The gentleman who comes later to my product, my window, has to protect my window. And if there's paint, plaster, clear, the window guy doesn't make the plaster, it was the plaster guy. But in the window guy, problem of removing the plaster, when the scratch is there on the profile on the glass, we are welcome to replace it free of cost. So this is something where we as an industry, we have to unite more, and we have to create a lot of pressure towards our developers or whoever installs it. Once my product is installed, I have almost no chance of protecting it. The door is getting, if I close my door, someone finds a chance to open the door, bang, bang, bang at night when the storm comes. Anything can happen. So this is something we need to create a discipline. Discipline, of course, only possible with an organized sector. And today, all the gentlemen on the panel, we are happy. We want to promote the organized sector. The organized sector from the profile, fabrication, installation, and then, of course, the chance of having an eye-to-eye level. When we are working with our designers, with our customers, with the architects, with the developers, we want to be seen in one eye level. So when we have a point, it is not a complaint, it's just a concern. So the concern should be taken positively, and this is a kind of discipline. And when we get it in, the speed will increase, the loss on us will reduce, and overall the projects are becoming to a better performance, because on the end, what Mr. Hitan Patel has rightly asked, it comes to a compromise. When 100 scratches are there, I can buff something or I can clean it, but I will never get the right product back which the customer deserves, because the consumer has purchased it and he deserves something new. So this is something, discipline, education, yes, but it starts with discipline, that we are really setting together the right roadmaps for the future. Thank you.
And this will be more needed, Mario, when Hiren Bhai says that, okay, when the country is looking towards mass housing.
Yeah, right. No, you say very rightly. I think it is also as a vendor and as a designers, we have to also educate the builders, because what happens, the builders has an attitude of being owner, and that's where as a customer you respect them, obviously, because they are paying to you, so they work more like the client. Yes, but they are also builder. So they have two kind of caps in there. One is their boss and they are paying you, so you give them respect. But at the same time, they are also building it. So you have to educate them, saying that, yes, we are going to install the window. The work which has been done earlier, we will take care of. If something goes wrong, as Mario said, we'll correct it out. So we don't want to damage the one work has been done earlier, let's say like a flooring or whatever. But once we are done, the letter agency comes for, let's say, painting or polishing or any kind of thing, they have to respect our own product. And if we, I think, educate them, I think it can happen. I mean, what I realized that no builder has this understanding. And if you can make like little kind of guideline for them and educate them, maybe do kind of little kind of training for one apartment and see that, And then I think at the end, their product, entire product of their apartment, the workplace become wonderful. And at the end, which I always get really concerned about the end user in India. I mean, people for making their own house is like a dream. In today, if they have been selling their ancestor, their grandfather's property to get money. They sell the gold, which has a loss of emotional value, and the people buy the house. So it's a huge big thing for people actually buying their end users. And as a builder, as a developer, they don't look into these kind of emotions. So we have to really see that the end users feel happy and they actually give the blessings to the people. Yes, Kushal, you wanted to say something, then I go to Tulsi later.
Yes, just to make it short and sweet, I think so. Adding to what Mario rightly said, you know, the teams who are coming after the window installation, actually, when you talk to the builders, it becomes a concern, you know, when it's relating to acquiring an OC, you know, when they want to acquire the OC, the urgency is that let's cover the building fast, let's have the windows in place. So it's more about knowledge sharing and education, saying that, let's get the windows in the right time, whether it's after 2 hands of painting and before the texture coating happens. Because what happens, a builder generally feels, oh, is he trying to buy more time to install my windows? But that's not the concern. The concern is that we want to ensure that if you're paying an X amount, we want to ensure that you get that value for those many years down the line.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's more about the education sharing part, and I'm just adding on to what just Mario said.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah, so sorry, Ms. Tulsi, to wait for last, but definitely.
Sorry, Tulsi ji.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, we have very important question. I'm sure everybody's answer. So for you, answering is going to be tough because most of the people have covered lots of things. But I have always one concern that in India we are still developing, and finance is very important. I mean, the cost criteria is very important for the people. I mean, we people are there, like if we are working in the home, or if we go from one room to second room, we definitely switch off the light or we switch off the fan. I mean, we are very conservative people in that way. Even when we live in common facility in apartment, in parking, if there are 3 lights will be on, somebody will say and switch on only one single light. So we are price conscious people, basically. And in window solutions, I mean, you see from, let's say, 500 rupees square feet to 3,000 rupees a square feet. And most of the time, to us as a designers, the vendors generally impose upon expensive things somehow, because they have maybe more margin or they have more liking. I don't understand, but they always impose that why can't we go with the 3,000 rupees a square feet window, because that looks wonderful, this slim line or XYZ. Versus, so what happens sometimes as a designers or as a client, we don't have courage to say that, can't you show me something of the 300 rupees a square feet? Because you have been promoting, even you have less than 150 rupees square feet product, you talk always about something of which is most expensive thing, and somehow you don't encourage. So where I differ, I mean, we see the IKEA furniture. I mean, they are one of the most economical, but they are most engineer and most designers product. So why don't you have that kind of approach as a totality? And what are your calls on the cost effectiveness of the product, because they are really very expensive. If we see in terms of cost of the aluminum or UPVC, it's nothing, but when it comes in square feet, it's exorbitantly very high price. So is it a large margin, or it's a huge margins, or it is a new trend to if you spend more, it looks beautiful? Is it like that?
So first of all, thanks to you for allowing me to speak, and you put the burden on me to, on behalf of everyone to make things like,
yeah.
But I will say there is a range of product is available, which starts maybe from 300 rupees a square feet and which may go up to 5,000 rupees a square feet.
Right.
While choosing a product for a particular project, the consideration of the things which you need in terms of performance, what you expect from that particular product, then price goes accordingly. If you want something which will be good for the noise insulation, heat insulation, then we have to put the insulated glass, then we have to put the laminated DGU glass. Then the basically cost of that particular component is being increased, not the cost of the window is being increased. To sustain the load of that particular glass, we have to put the heavy rollers and other things. The cost of that hardware is being increased. It is not like we are proposing something different. We are proposing the product as per the requirement of the site, as per the specifications, as per the performance requirement from that particular product. You know, the fenestration is the second important thing in any civil structure. Other than the civil construction, fenestration is the only thing which protects, which needs the strength, which have to control the, like the noise insulation, the heat insulation, everything. The entire burden of the performance of the building comes directly or indirectly to the fenestration. So fenestration should be treated that way actually. So the cost is not like we are charging for the same product, the same price actually. It depends what product is being proposed and what is the configuration of that product, what the dead load of that product will be, and how many locking points you need, how much security concern is of yours, which finish you want. These all components contribute towards the cost. So it is that way actually, sir. So we are not charging high. We are working very moderately all together, and we are trying to, like improve the industry. One important thing I would like to add, which we discussed for the site conditions while fixing the windows and all, I will advise to use the sub-frame or a rough frame whenever the construction is going on. By that way, we can keep the openings perfect. We can put it after the brick masonry, and the plasters can be matched with that actually. So later on, we will not need to require, like the fillings or the chippings and everything, and window will be like intact. We can even place it after the paints. So this way the product can be safeguarded. So we are emerging through and we are taking fenestration industry very seriously nowadays. Earlier, the window is a hole in the wall, which is to be, like covered by any means. But nowadays, it is being studied a lot. It is being discussed a lot. The U values is considered. There are many types of glasses available. There are many types of products available. Even the 6-meter high sliders are possible nowadays. We can go up to 700 kg load per shesh. So earlier we were not even thinking about all these things. So I think it is the product basically, or the specification of the products, which contributes towards the cost or the price of the product. And we guys are like, we are there to advise you actually. We are not there to, once we are advising for a particular project or we are connected with that product, we are not offering you something. We are offering the consultancy only without any cost. So our knowledge can be utilized actually. Whenever the commercial, like the level of that commercial submissions will be there, then we'll become a vendor. But initially we are your consultants actually. So don't treat us like a vendor. Whenever we are proposing something, it is not as a vendor actually. We are advising something. We can help in improving the performance also by using our skills or the knowledge. So it is that way, sir. So I think I left very less time.
Yeah. Right. I sometimes in a lighter mode, I always blame Apple computers for raising the prices. I mean, when they came with the iPhone, the product which was only costing 5,000 rupees, they suddenly started selling 1 lakh rupees. And then everybody started thinking if they are selling this product, which is fit in my palm, they're selling at the 1 lakh rupees because of the technology. My TV is 10 times larger, my window is maybe 50 times larger. Why I'm selling it the thousands of rupees? That's how, in fact, Apple has actually spoiled the entire world market for rising the things, because they have actually been so greedy. I mean, they're fantastic, but their love for the money is just too much. They are so greedy that they want money, and they make us so addicted that we keep on paying them. That's how everybody thinks that if I have to buy the Apple product, I have to also make my product expensive. So that's in a lighter way. Thank you so much, everybody. It was so wonderful. We have been we can talk another 1 or 2 hours like this. And
I would add to the point. I will request Mr. Deepen Gada also to say something about what difficulties do you find while you are using the window systems in your projects, whether it's a large scale or a smaller one.
I'm sorry, in between, I was just disconnected, but nevertheless, one very important thing which we have not discussed is the quality of glass, because all what we are talking about is the system, but the glass, which is the most important, because many a time it happens that, when developer comes to us, they talk about all the things and they talk about price, and they decide about the system that, okay, we are going with this. And for some few rate and few per square feet rate, they are compromising on the glass quality. And number of time it happens that irrespective of whatever best system you're providing, but the overall result we are not getting, and that is because of the glass quality. Or there are now many other aspect which is very, very important, is that laminated glass, DGU glass, the space between the glass or the lowers between the glass, and the fused glass. So that is also influencing overall system a lot, and that is what I wanted to say in between. But because everybody was explaining their own system and their pros and cons, but I believe that in such kind of discussions, we need to understand the characteristic of the glass, which is the major part of entire system. And that's what we can discuss sometime later. But nice talking to you, and nice listening to all of you here, and thanks a lot. You have moderated such a nicely. So great session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dipen. Renu, do we have any questions or something? Or I think we have been talking more than 1 hour. So it has been a wonderful discussion. But if any questions is there, maybe we can have. Otherwise, we are all fine. I mean, most of the thing has been covered up, and then I can sum up what we all have talked. So if there are any questions there, or
yeah, 3 questions actually, but I think mostly also answered. Biophilic, the question goes to you, if you can, but actually Anuj from Ritika spoke already about it. Now one more question was to Mr. Kushal, where we are talking about what all combination of windows we have. But if we will really start this now, this will go on. I think this even we can answer offline. I think even Renu, what I would propose that we are saying all together, we are making the pros of each system, and we can share it out, because when we had such a nice discussion for the last almost 90 minutes, so, and mostly that let's cut again the key points down, and then of course we can share it, and whoever is going to join our WFM community all have to join, and then of course a part of the video we have some more take homes what we can provide to all the people. I think this would be a nice thing, that for someone who is on the designing front, he can really see this my particular material can do. And in terms of sustainability, environment friendly glazing, but we have to see it as a complete glass just is also only a part fixed wrongly. I have a lot of air leakage. It has to be fixed properly so that the entire system is going to perform. I think as of now, 90 minutes over. Mr. Hilton, back to you. I was enjoying a lot, and I hope the audience also has enjoyed the same way.
I have a question over here. As an editor, what is the most difficult part for a provider or a vendor while you are interacting with an architect for fixing or designing or providing whatever is required or needed by the architect, asked by the architect?
I can answer
one question, and vice versa. What is the most difficult part an architect is finding when he is dealing with a vendor? So before you please think and answer in between, I'll just show some slides which I missed, which is from Geeta Aluminium. I missed it somehow.
Please.
I'll just show the slide. 2 minutes, 1 minute, and then we will start the discussions again.
Okay.
So I'm just sharing a slide. Just a minute.
I think, Renu, that should be fine. I think so we've reached the end. We've covered most of the points, and that was the objective. I think so we can skip that. It's fine.
All right, fine. So then we can start off.
Yeah. So I can answer that question. That what happened that we architects have lots of ego, and we think we are the best. And when we have to treat our vendor is not a good word. They are our partners. They are our product partners. So we have to treat them like a colleague or like a buddy. So what happened, the most of the time, the designers, they so much of attitude that somebody is coming from Mumbai at your office. Even you don't offer a glass of water or a glass of coffee. They've been waiting and waiting lounge for hours, and you meet with them for a very few minutes, or maybe even you don't meet your associate meet them. So what happens? Some angel has, I would use the word angel. Actually, an angel has come to your office to teach you something which you are not aware of it. Because we cannot be expert like the way people are in this line who are manufacturing for years and working with the workers inside. they can give so much of insight to you. They come to our office, and because of lack of time, or I would say unorganized way of our meeting with our fraternity people from the manufacturing, we don't give enough time to them, and we don't listen to them. So what happened? They want to say so many good things to you, which will enhance your product. We don't buy, let's say you don't buy their product, but they will come with lots of wisdom, because they are also equally passionate people in their own field, and they have so much know-how. So as a designer, I would definitely say that whenever you give a time, maybe don't give 10 people, take only once in a week, take maybe 2 people, but give them enough time and learn. It's going to be absolutely learning, and rather to listen to them rather than to you impose upon them. So that's what I realize, that most of the people we should not treat them like a vendor who have come to your doorstep to sell their product, but no, they have come to teach something. If you take that way, if you make like a team member, it is always wonderful, because you can learn much more from them. So that's the one which I say. And as the designers, if they have any expectation from us, yes, we are ready to understand, and we would take care of that.
So, as a manufacturer, what do you have to say, Farid sir?
Ma'am, do we need to answer that now?
Sir Avnash, yes, please do.
Sir has represented us very well.
Already Hiren Bhai has covered all the things.
Yeah.
Nothing to say anything more.
We don't even have the courage to say that.
Yeah, literally that's why salute to Hiren sir.
Yes, Anuj sir, please.
Thank you very much.
As
Huge round of applause.
Right.
Yeah, I would just like to say here that for all of us professionals, the challenge is essentially to meet the aesthetic needs of the designer, the commercial needs of the client, and the technical needs of the solution provider. When these three combine together, when they converge, that's when an order is placed, and which benefits everybody, which benefits the designer, benefits the customer, and benefits the supplier as well. And this is the attempt that we all have to make. As Hiren Bhai so humbly put it, we all have to work together, and this is the effort that we have to find that golden mean, get there. That's all.
Very nicely said, and I think this was the best speech from him to conclude our session. And I thank you very much to everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much, Renu, for inviting everybody. And bye bye to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renu. Thank you, Hirenji.
Just a second. Actually,
I think so. Niket has something to say.
Yeah.
Sorry for holding you, gentlemen. But actually, I just wanted to also bring one thing to the surface, that being in the architectural chair, like it is for each and every other architect, whenever we plan for any of the projects, right, we have many thoughts placed into how the fenestration is going to happen, and at the same time, how the voids are going to be placed into the inside building. Now, what happens is that UPVC is great, every other aluminum is great, metal is great, and then wooden. All these four window qualities, or say like window materials, has a different characteristic altogether. So keeping those characteristics in mind, and with the solar study also, with how the interior environment quality is going to come, we always plan for some of the fenestrations. So normally what happens is, it is not only placing it and aesthetically to see it, it is also fire ratings of it, it is also the acoustical value of it. So all these things, when we try to develop a certain specification or a BOQ of certain material, it is like, I always think that the entire fenestration, the partners, as Hiren sir rightly mentioned, they should be an unattached part of that project, and trying to understand what that architect's thought process is behind doing it. And depending upon that, there will be also some of the knowledge which will be imparted on your end, because it is just what the architect thought process is what we need for going ahead with maybe with the design of fenestration, or going ahead with some different kind of an fenestration altogether, with whatever the estimated price he is asking for. Because I did had this problem when I did faced at one point, because at our place we are always taking care of every other individual who is having less money with him also, but we are trying to make his dream transform into a reality. And then we always try to contact our vendor friends and then ask that what is the per square foot rate? Are we going to able to manage it? Somewhere we are trying to pull our socks and giving some good kind of a thing to the client at the end of the day with his own cost estimate, with his own cost bearing capacity. Moreover, so I think so that should be respected from your end. This is what a humble request I can come with. And with that too, it is also understanding what the aestheticalness of that project is, and as per that, giving solutions to some of the designer fenestrations. Now, as rightly mentioned by, sorry, just a second. As rightly mentioned by Mr. Anuj, like there is a laminated timber material that it is there. We can use it, and it is going on a very good scale in the European market, where they are using the entire facade of that building. They are designing it into laminated timber material, like with whatever the plank size they can do it. And with that itself, they are developing some of the fenestration elements into that. So for example, if just a facade is like a plain one, this laminated wooden frame or this laminated wooden facade will be always having a kind of an cutout which will be suiting with the design of that facade. So there are some of the innovations which are really trending the market. The only thing is that we need to have a grasp upon it, and we need to have more open outlook towards enhancing and progressing our fenestration industry.
Okay, I think we have crossed now 1.5 hours of discussion. Very healthy one. And I will be passing over all the questions what we received from our viewers later on when we put it on the social media handles. We will pass it over to the people whom it is addressed to. Kindly answer them. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Hiren sir, for being moderator, and thank you for all the information shared.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for providing me the opportunity to discuss with you all credible professionals. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.